Aloha! Welcome to the Elon Marley Podcast, hosted by your boy Crypto Rootz. This is the first episode. We're giving it a shot. So, it's a little different. This podcast, we discuss technology and how that affects the psychology of society and the individual. So, we're going to talk about issues that I see going on with society and issues that I personally have. And we got a special guest today and just have an in-depth discussion. So we have a special guest today. She goes by the name of Crypto Malala. She's one of my mentees. She's a very intelligent young woman, and she's got a lot of information to share and offer. As far as I know, she's a specialist in psychology and psychotherapy. So we have a lot of in-depth conversations about a lot of different topics, and we go super deep. And I figured, hey, let's just try a little podcast and see what's going on. So please introduce yourself, Crypto Malala, and just give them a background where you're from and what you're about.
Olita, I am known as Crypto Malala. I am from Jalapa, Veracruz, Mexico. I have studies in human development, and I am a core energetics practitioner. And I am really glad to be invited in this podcast to talk about how technology has to do with social innuendos.
Would you mind sharing us a bit more about this core energetics? I'm not sure many people. I haven't really heard of it, and I'm sure my audience is looking to learn more about it. So, would you mind sharing a bit more in depth about core energetics?
Yes, well, core energetics was founded by John Pierrakos and Eva Broch. The core energetics comes from bioenergetics, and it was studied by Alexander Lowen and John Pierrakos with their teacher Wilhelm Reich, who was a contemporary of Freud. So it has to do with psychoanalysis, it has to do with the body, it has to do with energy combined, and how all of our bodies resemble, especially the physical body, resemble our life story, how our biography is literally engraved in our bodies, because character comes from the Greek, which is to engrave. So it is really interesting to see the human development and the human interactions within this knowledge of how the energy works, and how we all have 5 wounds of and of our soul, of our developmental stages, and we move from a defense created because of that wound. So that's kind of what it's about.
That seems deep. It's hard for me to really pinpoint what it is, and maybe it's not supposed to be pinpointed. Maybe maybe it just encompasses a lot of different emotions and topics, whether being physical and psychological, I guess. That's dope. Then you really sound like you're qualified to share your personal experiences and opinions and scholarship. Whew. So, the topic I want to talk about today the most is selfies. Now, the effect selfies have on the individual and as a group, as society as a whole. So, let me share my personal opinions, and then I would like to hear yours. And I'm gonna try to be as unbiased as possible. This is all about to have an open discussion. It's not to say this is what it is and this is how I feel and everyone should feel this. Nah, it's just a place. This is just a podcast where I want to express things, opinions, and I want to see how other people feel. So, the phenomenon of selfies, due to obviously the use of smartphones and better technology, selfies didn't really become a big deal to me until one day I was like tripping on mushrooms, and I was at a house party. This was back in Maui, when I was living on Maui, and there was this guy there. And now that I'm a bit older, he's kind of he was narcissistic. He was really into himself, kind of like a lady, like always hitting on ladies, just always, with a smile and handshaking everybody. And so he was one of those dudes who just loved attention. And it just so happened that I was behind him one day. I was just sitting in a chair in the kitchen, tripping on mushrooms, and I see him pull out his phone, and I see him go through his pictures, and literally almost every single picture was of him. Like, and he was just going through it, and I was just like shocked, blown away. Not only am I tripping, but I'm like, this dude seriously has like almost every picture in his phone album of him. Like, and each picture is like barely different from the next one. It's like slight facial expressions. Yes. And I was like, whoa, there's something going on with this guy. Like, and that's what really like that's what really stamped it in my head that this is actually a problem now. It could have been a problem for whatever, MySpace, and but me personally, that's when I knew like, yo, this is actually like a deep psychological shit to deal with. And it's not just women, it's men as well. So it has nothing to even keep gender out of the conversation when it comes to selfies. It just so happens that I personally see more women take selfies, but that doesn't compare to someone being alone taking selfies. Now, nothing's wrong with the actual act. I feel nothing's wrong with the actual act of taking a selfie. Like, nothing's wrong with that. What I do have an issue with, and is the excessive need or psychological need to take a selfie. And that's new. That's new. And that also it becomes a habit. And you start to use that habit in other ways. So you may just take a selfie, whether to show people, but then when you pull out your phone to take a selfie to attract attention, that's when we're dealing with some weird shit. That's when we're going in, because if you feel the only way to actually attract people or to get people's attention is to pull out your smartphone and to either pretend or actually take a picture, and it's obvious it's obvious, and you could be like, oh, they pull out their picture to try to they pull out their phone to try to take a picture of themselves to get my attention, and that's kind of digging too much in your own ego at the same time. So most people just don't say nothing. So the habit continues to habit, and it keeps growing because we're all like, oh, that selfie thing is just so small, it's no big deal. So the habits get worse, and then you have like group selfies. And I see this especially it's weird with high school people and old people for some reason. High school people, it's like that's all they do is like, let's go out, and the act of going out is all they do is take selfies. And it's like, and the same thing with like old people in like late 50s, or you know what I'm saying? It's like all they do is go out and take selfies. Or a group selfie. I'm like, whoa, like this is crazy. I'm just trying to walk in the park. I'm trying to walk down the beach, like, and like it's like you spend your time always trying to capture your time. You spend your life always trying to capture your life. So you're actually not really having a life. And I like, yo, that trip, like it just throws me off. Like, yo, this is how deep. This is like some Black Mirror shit. Like, this is like some Black Mirror shit. Like, yo, you want to go out and have fun? Well, we're out now, and now it's just the norm of having fun is taking pictures and taking selfies. And I can go even deeper, and we'll talk about it, but it's like, this is something I just want to talk about, man. And I can't tell anyone not to take a selfie. I can't say I never take selfies. Like, there's a difference between just taking a picture and being artistic. Those are two different worlds. Taking a picture and taking an artistic photo, those are two different realms of thought and intention, but use of the same tool and technology. I like when I see creative images or even creative selfies, or now and then let me go into that. Creative selfies is like, people, how creative are we going to get? When I mean creative, like, how much risk are people taking to take a selfie? It could seem creative, but it can seem risky and egotistical. The fact that you're going on top of a 20-story building on the edge, taking a selfie. Like, no, this is real shit. Like, or in some dog cage or some animal cage, like with some tigers taking a selfie. Like, it's like, yo, that's, like I said, this is just an open discussion. I'm not here to shame anyone. I'm not here to say I'm better than anyone. I'm just bringing up some things that I just feel are issues. So, Crypto Malala, what are your own personal thoughts taking selfies? Do you take selfies? Did you at any point feel you were having a problem taking selfies? What is your interpretation of society and selfies? And please share. And by the way, I'm burning a fat one with Crypto Malala, so that's just how we get down, all right? You know, this is Crypto Rootz. This is the Elon Marley Podcast hosted by Crypto Rootz. So, sorry to interrupt you, please, the floor is all yours.
Thank you. Wow, yes. I mean, that sums up several points that I have actually written down. It has to do, well, first I'll start by saying that yes, there is a difference in between taking a photo because you're in a new place, you want to keep a memory, you're with a person you haven't seen in a while, or you feel like taking a photo, like holding that moment. Yes, it has something really precious. And there's this other side of it, which is taking a selfie or taking a photo out of anxiety. And that has to do with not being able to live in the moment. Yes, and it's not just the selfie, it's the filter. And it's also the sharing part and the calling out for attention. There is this developmental stage when we were children, where all we wanted was kind of like be seen by our parents and being taken care by them. So what happens is that we do whatever we can do to get their attention. So we start acting the way we think they want us to act. So that has to do with our social interaction, how we portray ourselves in social media to create an attraction, to have people seeing you and approve your life, like approve your image. I have known people who know that they have a character to maintain, like, oh no, but that's not good for my followers, so they won't do it, even if the follower is, her aunt and some friends from high school. And it's the idea of being famous, and it's deeper than just the narcissy part. It is the narcissistic part plus a deep wound of feeling vulnerable, of being unsecure about your body, of having hatred or some movements around your body idea. It's called body dysmorphic disorder, in which you do not feel like your body, you do not feel connected to it, you want to alterate it, you just don't feel right. And again, it has to do with anxiety, and it has to do with not living in the present moment.
So you're saying it's like a new form of like body modification, but it's not the actual modifying the body, it's the perception of it. Mm-hmm. is why you're doing it. So some people may get tattoos and fat earrings and stuff, but they're doing it because they want to be perceived or in a certain way. So You're saying that people would take selfies and alter them in filters and add, dog ears and stuff because it's the perceived, that's how they want to be perceived, and they don't necessarily have to monitor or do permanent body modification. And and I guess that has to go with the same realm of anorexia and bulimic and even being overweight. Is you're modifying your body, and then you're being perceived, or at least you think you're being perceived in a certain way. So it's almost like a digital way of modifying it. Is that what you're?
Yes, that and it has to do with how you want people actually treat you, because you portray an image, and we all do it in a certain way. We dress the way we dress, and we if we do makeup or we don't do makeup because of something, and the thing is, either you do it intrinsically or you do it extrinsically. Extrinsically is that you do it because of the other ones. Again, you want the attention from your fathers, you want of your carers, you want to be seen, you want to be acknowledged as you are. That is what you actually want, and you'll do whatever it takes, even altering just digitally your image, to get that attention and to get the acknowledgement of yourself. It's a paradoxical thing we as a society do.
Do you feel the need to take selfies, or the actual act of taking selfies, is more rampant in men than women, or vice versa, or what?
It's getting to everywhere. I don't think it's a gender thing. What I think, it's like the new cigarette. Selfies are the new cigarette.
Well, yeah. So I'm glad you brought that up, because I call it visual cigarettes. So because I'm seeing the partake of cigarettes, and I would say it's always in my way, but I can't go out without seeing people all of a sudden get up and then say, "Hey, take a picture of me." Take a like that. Like that's kind of like, whoa. Is it, like, it's like, all right, I don't know what to do. I have self-doubt right now. Like I'm into, like, here, you take a picture of me. Now, here's the issue with these selfies that it blows me away. And I asked you this before, but I'm gonna ask you again. Literally, just realistically speaking, how long does it take to actually take a picture? Realistically speaking, with the smartphone, how long does it take?
A few seconds.
Literally,
Nothing.
a few seconds. I would say 15 seconds is the higher end, right? I can't believe it when I'm outdoors and I see people taking photos for literally over an hour. Like over an hour. Like that was the whole experience of being outdoors, was taking pictures. And like it just doesn't add up. Like if the math just doesn't add up. If it only takes a few seconds, why are people taking hours, 30 minutes, hours plus worth of photos. Like, and I'm thinking, like, what are people doing with all that extra data on their phone and photo? Like, it's just like, yo, people are gonna have so much extra junk data. I need to just start renting out data storage somewhere, you know, because it's just gonna be an excess of just data that people don't use, don't need, but don't want to get rid of. You know, that's the worst part. They don't want to get rid of it. I don't know everybody, but I would assume that if you're insecure enough to take selfies excessively, then you would be insecure to delete them excessively. Like, I don't know, it's almost like some hoarding. I don't know, but it blows me away when the act of taking a picture is drawn out to a whole event outdoors. And I don't know, I just think that time could have been spent more wisely. You know, like learning an instrument, playing a song with a group of people, you know what I'm saying, taking a couple shots, putting the phone away, being part of the atmosphere and the environment. And it's like, yo, because I'm from Hawaii and I travel to touristy places, and I'm used to people taking pictures, so I'm already have a threshold that, you know, they're higher than the most. So when my threshold is like crashed because people are just it's like, yo, this is crazy. It's some Black Mirror shit. And I just recently watched pretty much all the episodes. We still got to finish a little bit more, all the Black Mirror, and it just nailed it. It nailed it. So I'm as a self-taught software developer, and I'm into. Don't get me wrong, I'm into technology. Like, I'm into technology, but at the same time, Crypto Rootz still has rootsy vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to get back to outdoors. I have to put away the digital shit from time to time. A couple times a day, I have to just take a break because of my overall health, physically and psychologically. Now, I don't expect everyone to be perfect. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I don't like it when a bunch of people come to a place that has good vibes and good energy because of the people that are bringing the good vibes: musicians, dancers, fire spinners, body painters. Like, you know what I'm saying? These are people who are displaying their art, their passion, their talents. And yeah, this is modern society. People are gonna take pictures. But what happens is, if there's more people taking pictures than the people that are actually performing, then there is nothing to take pictures of at a certain point. You know, there's nothing to take. Because I used to be at a drum circle on Maui. It's called Little Beach. You can look it up on YouTube. I'm one of the drummers. It's every Sunday, and it's a world famous spot. People from around the world travel there, and you know, people take pictures. But at a certain point, the people closest to me who just got the camera right in my face and people just like are so they're so stuck on trying to capture the moment. It's like invasive, and it like ruins the vibe of like, yo. And I just have to tell people sometimes, like, I have to whisper in there, it's much more fun if you join in. And they just immediately just put the phone down.
Yes.
And then just like, they're just like, just shame. Like, it's like, yo, like, add on, be a part of it.
Yes.
You know, it's like, and it's kind of rude because it's like, you're just here to take. You're here to take. That's the same thing with the picture and record. You're just here to take. Like, add on positively in a way that's you'd benefit, you know? So that's what irritates me. Obviously, you can't stop and you can't get pissed off if you're going to be performing in a public venue. That's just the way it is, you know? And who knows, that video could make you go viral and whatnot, but that got annoying. It's frustrating. It's annoying because I'm playing these drums passionately, and you find it almost as just something to entertain and to capture and show your friends, and it's like, yo, just grab a drum and drum with me or start dancing with us. So it's like, who's really living life at this point? It has nothing to brag. Like, I'm just not afraid to be myself in public. I've already dealt with humility, and I understand that what I have to offer the world is so much more beautiful. So I'm not ashamed to, you know, occasionally be recorded, but at the same time, that we could do so much more as a society if we didn't feel the need to capture everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do miss about like the 19. I wouldn't say I didn't grow up, but I would imagine life in the 1960s, 70s, and before that, like just a little bit more, less anxiety. I can only imagine, because people didn't really feel the need or have the technology and tools to just capture the moment all the time. So what are your thoughts and your feelings about that?
Wow.
Yeah, it's deep, man. Sorry, I know. You want to hit this?
I mean,
you want to take
yes.
a hit? Yeah, it's deep. That's why we started. That's why we had to get this podcast going. That's why Elon Marley hit me up, said, "Hey, Crypto Rootz, you want to host my podcast?" You know what I'm saying? And so my boss, Elon Marley, you know, he cool dude. We go at it every now and then, but we always burn a fat one. And he said he'll look out for me if I host this podcast. So it is what it is. You feel me?
Word. Okay. People are focusing so much on capturing the moment that they forget or they have forgotten, or maybe they have never actually lived the moment. We have to learn how to live the moment, to actually be present in all of our senses, bodily, in our actions, mentally. If you're thinking about the past, you're dealing with depression. If you're thinking about the future, you're dealing with anxiety. If you're dealing with the present moment, you get life as it is without subtracting anything and without adding anything to it. You know, that's a point I want to make. About aiming to perfection, about aiming to have the perfect selfie or the perfect moment at the beach, and you put you upload it to Instagram and all your social media, and you put a beautiful quote about a book you have never learned, but you've searched for a quote that fitted whatever idea you wanted society have for you. That's the point. And if you think that 1 hour is a lot, or more than 2 minutes is a lot, Danny Bauman actually spent 10 hours every day from, he took school days off and had issues with their parents. He lost 28 pounds.
Who's this guy?
His name is Danny Bauman. Is this person, this man who was in high school, and he wanted to get the perfect selfie. He had something called body dysmorphic disorder, which didn't it has to do with self-esteem, low self-esteem, low proprioception, which is the ability of actually knowing where your body is and its dimensions, you know. And this man killed himself after a while. He went really deep into aiming for perfection, so much that when he realized he couldn't get it, he decided to take his life. Now, there's something I want to point out of here, because everyone tells you that nobody's perfect, and that that's like to make you feel that you are imperfect, you know. And the thing is that you are perfect just as you are, just the way you are perfect. And
now, sorry to interrupt you. Now, I get what you're saying, but to someone, or to most people, that really doesn't hold much weight. You are perfect. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it doesn't like, it's not like, damn, this is gonna stick with me for like a week now, you know? It's more like almost immediately dismissed, because it's why don't people accept the fact that they're already perfect? That's an issue. You know what I'm saying? I want to pinpoint that. Why doesn't that really affect people to the point where, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're just like, but you tell them that and it's like almost immediately dismissed. You know, like, you know what I'm saying?
Or you get the idea of, or the little voice out behind saying, but you could be even more perfect. And that has to do with that vulnerability you are afraid to touch.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Now, let's switch it up. As far as the positives of taking selfies and smartphones. Now, in certain rare cases, there's individuals who have physical, injuries, physical deformations from birth or from any major accident, and they've never gotten the chance to really feel confident about their physical look. And maybe I'm just trying to put myself, I'm not just trying to be closed-minded, I'm trying to be open-minded. Maybe there is some positives into the augmented reality, into the selfies, into the sharing for a person to kind of adapt a new look that they never, you know what I'm saying, put on a new mask. And if it does give them a boost of confidence, is that anything wrong with that? Because they have maybe one eye or a messed up nose or a cleft lip, and and it's not that you're trying to mislead people, but what if you can use these filters and these to creatively draw out the beauty in that individual? Do you think that is sustainable for that individual? Do you think that's misleading? Or do you see it as it's just a tool and people can play with it however they want? If they can make themselves look beautiful, they can make themselves look even uglier. Like, what are your thoughts on the person who really, quote unquote, is, you say they're perfect, but from a society, they know they have they know something seriously is physically not attractive with them, and they've already accepted that, but they're choosing to use I don't know. Like, this is me being as open-minded as possible. What are your thoughts?
If you are a person with any kind of disability or physical deformation, I tell you that you are perfect just the way you are. You deserve love just the way you are. And you are welcome in this planet just the way you are. You are needed just as anyone else. Now, is it wrong to smoke cigarettes? Nicotine numbs. Now, people,
bring it, wrap it together.
People who want to numb down a feeling, a deep feeling, smoke a lot. Have that in the mind. Is it wrong to smoke a cigarette just because you're feeling a little down, and it may take you into a cigarette addiction and actually getting cancer? I see where you're coming from.
I see it.
If you modify your image in a photograph just to uplift yourself,
I see.
It is going to get to a point in which you modify your body.
Oh, I see.
Okay? It is actually dangerous.
Word. Yeah, I mean, word. So, how do you feel selfies should be regulated? Do you think do you really think there should be like an app on your phone that will not allow you to take pictures of yourself after a certain limit? Or do you think people should just not ever take selfies? Or do you think there should just always be free range of, nonstop, as much as you want, all day, every day? Like, do you really feel there needs to be some sort of like self-regulation, technology regulation, damn near government regulations?
Taxing?
Taxing. Dude, selfie taxes. That's what we're gonna call this. That's what we're gonna call this episode. Selfie taxes. Selfie taxes. Tax that shit. You fucking take a selfie with your ass. I want fucking 8 cents off that shit.
Yes.
We start saving the planet, saving some whales. The selfie taxes, bro.
That's
the weed talking.
That would be great.
That would be weird. I mean, you really could do some positive shit. Now, how would
monetize it?
I guess you would. Yeah, I don't know, but that's a good idea though.
The self-regulation. I well, I don't know how to point this out, but it is better to take a direction or a decision in your life if you do it because you want to do it and not because someone else wants you to do it. If we got to ban selfies, I believe that society would get to a point into getting them somehow. We would return to drawing yourself with a mirror or something like that,
Yeah. And, so you're saying this is instinctual? It's almost genetic.
We want to see ourselves. We want to know ourselves, to know our body, to actually hold our father and our mother. Whether you have them or not, they are your biological parents. Because people have told me, but I have gay parents. I have two fathers. I don't have a mother. Well, you were carried in a wound. So you carry that DNA, you carry that information, and it is encrypted in your body. It's also the progenitor, So it is a way of holding not only them, but all of your ancestors. It gets deeper, the body perception, the actual loving yourself as you are, because you are the perfect manifestation of the universe. That's why you're perfect, and perfect for who? You have to be perfect for you, and because of you, because you are the universe. You hold every material and every single shape and color you can see in it.
All right. I dig it. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. Now let's switch it up. I want to talk about Black Mirror with you. Have you seen the Netflix series Black Mirror?
I have seen the Netflix series.
What are your personal thoughts and feelings about, without giving away any spoilers on any episodes? What are your personal feelings about? And what are your personal? And I'll share mine as well.
I believe it portrays truth and possible truth. It is the future, but the future is now, and it is presenting it. Things happen just as you see them happening on this series.
Dope. Yeah. So, I'm not a big Netflix dude. Not saying I don't watch, but I've just been in my own world. But I was introduced to Black Mirror, and I got hooked. Man. I did. I got hooked, and the reason I got hooked was the use of modern technology and how it affects how it's used to control, or or manipulate society. And I just felt like it was very creative, and I could relate to it. I could see how that could happen, and I could see certain things already happening. Like, pretty much, like, now I walk around and be like, yo, I'm in an episode of Black Mirror. Like, everyone's just got their cell phones out, like, and da-da-da-da-da. So it helps me. It gives me a reference point. That's what I appreciate about the show. It gives me a reference point to at least refer back to something. Because I had like more anxiety not knowing what to make of it, or how it can be creatively put into an art form such as a film. You know what I'm saying? So it's got me thinking, just I need to start representing my ideas and start not seeing everything as a negative, but find ways I can creatively use smartphones, technology, 5G. Like, that's my thing. It's like, I don't feel none of this technology is anything to fear. It's your lack of control over it is the only thing you should be fearing. Is the fact that you don't know how these software and these programs and how the internet works, HTTP, and you know what I'm saying, just package managers, front end, back end. Not knowing that is how it works, puts people in fear. Not knowing how AI is essentially if then else statements. That's all it really is. If this, then do this. And if not, do this. And it just does that so fast. It eventually starts to put all the truths and the ones together. So I mean, once you know how this is work, how it all gets down, machine learning, like you're more clear and you're actually more creative. But when you don't know, you know that there's other people that can utilize this technology to control you. And most people don't understand that they're already being controlled. Yes. They're already being controlled. The apps make the decisions for them. The YouTube videos make the decisions for them. People they think they have choices when all the choices have been made for them. So, smartphones and technology, it's just a tool. And you can either be a slave to your smartphone, meaning you go to work to pay your smartphone bills, you go to work to pay the apps on your bills, like you work, and while the cell phone's collecting all your data or recording you in the background, or it's got all your menstrual calendars, like all that data that you share with your app, and then you go and pay for it, your phone becomes a liability. It becomes something you constantly have to keep paying for and keeping up. But on the flip hand, if you see it all as opportunity and you see your smartphones as opportunity, you can actually be an entrepreneur, a full-on international entrepreneur from your cell phone. You can record videos, post them on YouTube, get however many views. You can edit videos on your YouTube. There's different trading apps. There's different there's Etsy, there's different eBay apps. You can take a gift on the street, like literally you can be a entrepreneur on your smartphone, and your smartphone becomes an asset. It's something that makes you money. You can pay and send people money around the world, and you know, whether you, especially if you do it decentralized, you can mine on your smartphone. Like so it's how you use this tool that is, well, just like anything else, but it's how you use this tool. And I choose to use this tool as an asset. I choose to see my smartphone as an asset, and if I see it as an asset, it's something that should be valued and respected, and I don't need to spend most of my time on it. I only need this tool on the right occasions. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a different attitude I have about my relationship with my smartphone. And when I do take a picture, it's so few and far between that I feel like, this is the right moment. This is the right moment. You know what I'm saying? And I barely am on Instagram, but when I do, I post a picture once every 3 or 4 months just to let the people that I used to be cool with, or still care about me or whatever, know I'm still alive. And I feel like there's just much more swag in posting a selfie once every, maybe three or 4 times a year, like at most. There's a lot of swag in that. There's a lot of swag because it shows that the things that you're really taking pictures of and posting have nothing to do with yourself personally, and or you're not posting pictures often and you're just doing other shit. Like it's weird. I just feel your audience respects you more the less selfies you post. And I could be wrong. I mean, this is just an open discussion. You can share your comments. But Crypto Malala, you got anything else you would like to share with us?
Yes, about technology and how it is literally, as in etymologically, a tool. Like that is what it means, technology. And there's this he's a philosopher and he's a lawyer and he's a mathematician. He was his name is Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and he thought about in his book about education, about men, nature, and the nature and the man communicating with nature by the use of tools, and how we are educated into relating to that, right? And we use we use our thoughts to communicate with the computer. As a programmer, you know that you put on the computer what it has to do, so you create things, right? You make them possible, and you make them possible and not tangible, but seeing on the virtual reality. So we create worlds, we create virtual realities, which is a reality that exists but only in a realm, you know? And what happens with people who get hooked in the virtual reality is that they believe that everything that they see in there is absolutely truth. Like, people would tell you, no, it is truth because I saw it on Facebook. Like, I'm not going to say Facebook is good or bad, you know, it's a tool for communicating. But if you see it, and just because you've seen it and it has a lot of likes and a lot of views, it doesn't mean it's actually true, you know? And not because people like it, it's a good thing. We have to get to a point in which we separate the virtual reality from the, well, what I call physical reality, or the real reality, you know? And what I have to say about how we communicate and how we must be careful with our, not only our thoughts, but our consciousness, and more than our consciousness, our intention. We have our intention to create, or we have an intention to destruct. You can log in into the internet that day, and in the morning you wonder with yourself, you ask yourself, do I want to create something good today, something better for my community, or do I want to destroy something? And if you want to destroy something, I mean, there are ways to transform the destruction part into transformation. You know, if you hate someone, first respect it from the distance, and since when you are cool, you know, you may creative ways you think it should be done, so you can put on the things you want to see, not only in your virtual reality, but on the physical reality. Like, if you see something that you don't like, create something better. Do not fight it. Just go and do something proactive, and see how that switches everything. In core energetics, we talk about two things, which is consciousness and energy. And I would say the consciousness about the energy, how you are energy. Your body has it. It is fueled with the sun, with the water, with the food, you know. And if you are conscious about how you create your world, you can create a better space for you, a better world for you, a better story for your life. You modify reality just as you can create and modify virtual reality. That is what I have to say.
Damn, that shit is deep. Hit this. Smoke this shit right here. Yeah, that's all you right there. That shit is deep, yo. For real. Yeah, I'm all about it. Selfies, at this point, I think they're a hazard to society. There's an excessive amount. I feel it's only getting worse. When 50 parents grandparents are the ones hooked on Facebook, are the ones hooked on posting. And it's let's talk about this. It's like a jealousy thing. I notice. I've been around, especially in Hawaii. It's like I'm only taking pictures of me and my cousin or my aunt just to show you guys, because I was jealous when you guys took a picture of somewhere else and I wasn't invited, or now that, you know what I'm saying, like it gets kind of weird in like family wars over like I'm not trying to dig too deep, but it's like some of these older people, they get so jealous and envious, and the only reason they even travel was to show off a picture just to post it. It's like the only reason I'm even in this act of doing this in nature or whatever is just to post it, just so I hope that you feel bad or guilty or insecure or unfulfilled like I felt when I looked at your picture. So it's like it's like deeper and deeper, and it's like within families and your cousins, and it's just like this whole fake feed of people just smiling and hugging, and that they all fucking hate each other, or they're all jealous or secret, or it's just some weird shit. And I personally don't deal with this, but I've personally seen people deal with this, and it's just like it's like deep, like people who would normally not be taking pictures are just taking pictures to make other people feel jealous. Like this shit is like, it's crazy, yo. Like this shit is crazy. Like, what are your thoughts about that? Like jealousy within families over selfies on Facebook, and like, you think that's a real thing, or am I making this up?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And it starts just to fuck up the family inside out, bro.
Wow. It's deep, and it goes deeper than we think it is.
Share it. We still got the rest of this joint, you feel me?
Remember, there is a stage, when we are born, all we want in life, if we want anything, is to be held, to be loved, to be nourished, to be seen, to be warm, to be told that everything is going to be just fine, that you are loved. So that's in a perfect scenario, right?
Yeah.
But most of the babies right now, babies in this generation, what they get in seconds after being out of the womb is a fucking telephone.
Yeah.
In their faces.
They got a telephone in their faces.
It's what they see. So attachment tells you, thank God we're not dogs, but attachment tells you that you get attached to what you see more.
And you get the reward if you do what mommy or daddy, the caretaker, does with the cell phone in their hand.
Yes, I have seen children being with their parents that are like, the parents take the phone, so they know they are going to take a selfie, right? And the kid poses and then continues doing whatever.
It's like they're
trained.
They train the kid, or the kid is training the parent, because it goes both ways.
It goes both ways. It's a way of telling me, I agree to this. They are making a transaction, The mom is like, I cannot interact with myself. I don't like me, and I don't like my life, and I'm not sure if I want to, but I think I look okay, don't I? Please tell me that I look okay. And here is my child. Hey, child, say hi.
I know.
Know what to do. Yeah, he does the filter. You look so funny. And I've seen worse. I've seen mothers being with their children and taking the filter and scaring them. There are videos on the internet about that, and how they scare the children. So it's like the moment they have to interact with their mother, who is a robot that is stick to her phone.
Yeah.
And the children grow up thinking that the mom is attached to the cell phone. So the cell phone is a representation of the mother, so they will be attached to the cell phone or the tablet, because that is the way they know how to interact with adults. Yeah. And most of adults are with a fucking telephone or tablet or something electronical in their hands. They're too busy to be with children. They're too busy to actually raise them. They're too busy to be in the moment.
It goes both ways. Check it out. Sometimes the only way to get rid of your kid is to give them a tablet or a cell phone. Sometimes Like it's got, because of everything, the kid, like the parents will just give it because it gives them time away. Yes. Like it's just like, yo, go, and then it gets to the point where that's all the kid wants to do and doesn't even want to interact with the parents, where the parents have to take the phone or the tablet away because like no, like,
and that is so unfair.
So
because first they're telling them, here is something that I take care a lot more than you, and I see a lot more than you, aka the tablet. Let's call it like that.
Yeah.
And since I love it more than you, when I want to be with me, that I love more than anything else in the world, and I don't want to be with you, I give you the tablet, and you better take care of it, right? And they take care of it and
not
interact
always
with it.
Most kids don't really know how to. They bang it, they break it, or I mean sometimes like
yes, because they're angry at their mother, because what they want is attention. Again, all that we want in the world is to be held, to be loved, and to be told that everything is just fine.
Stop it! You're about to make me cry.
Mom.
I get it. All right. I mean, all right. That's. We're gonna wrap it up. We just wanted. I just wanted to vent. Thank you for sharing and expressing yourself, Crypto Malala. Thank you guys for listening. So you can holler at me, Crypto Rootz. Email me, Crypto Rootz at protonmail.com for the counseling or the consulting or the mentorship. Crypto Malala, where can they find you and what services can they receive from you or your offering?
Emotional support. I'm a core energetics practitioner, so we may have a video phone and
a little counseling session.
Yes.
And like a pre thing, and if it works out, you can charge a little. She's very affordable. She cares about her profession, and she's just willing to go the extra mile. Where can they find you? What's your email and your IG?
Crypto Malala at protonmail.com.
Spell the Malala.
I am going to spell it all. CRYPTOMALALA at protonmail.com. Right? And and I also teach Spanish if you want to learn.
Yeah, she's a Spanish and English teacher.
I also make programs for parents, like developmental games that they may use stage by stage, and they are really affordable, like the things that you can find at your home if you want to give your children another option rather than just a tablet. And I just want to wrap the old part, the people part.
The floor is yours.
It has to do with, as you say, fear of missing out. People are doing things that they used to they would never imagine that people would do.
Yeah.
My grandfather used to say that in the future people would have televisions on their phones, right?
He said that?
He said that. He had this vision on a mushroom trip.
Yeah.
And yes, and it didn't get just there, and the cell phones are a great tool for everything, for almost everything. But yes, it has to do with fear of missing out. They're like, imagine the development. We used to think about development as linear, but it is actually like a spiral, like a Fibonacci spiral. Look it up. We spin throughout our stages every 7 years or so. We give another turn to the stages we have lived. So old people are living like children. They are actually acting out like children, although they are not children. They are grown-ups, and they do have another experience. So I can see how this vulnerability and fear of missing out can jump out just as
and they're just
anger.
they're just doing something they wouldn't.
And they got better phones because they can afford them, because they have worked their asses all of their lives.
Yeah.
So yes. Yes,
Yeah.
and teenagers take selfies the most. Yes, because teenager years are a stage when you're trying to find yourself,
Yeah.
and you search approval with the others. Again, it's another spin to that part in your life where you were searching the approval of your parents. Like, look, man, now I can walk. Look, man, I can sip in my cup without dripping all the water. You know.
Yeah. I want to go. I could go deeper, but I'm gonna wrap it up. I'll leave the comments on, and share your opinions if we should continue to do this and have these talks. And aloha, much love. Take care.
Bye. Mucho amor.